Well, I'm out this morning, deciding to do my morning walk. You know, it's important that we exercise as black people. Not just as black people overall, but you know, the health is important for us, because when it comes to the health issue, we black people are faced with a lot of issues. All right, we're faced with a lot of issues because we don't really take care of ourselves. The majority of us don't eat as healthy as we should. And at times we fall into health problems. You know, and it's important that, you know, we exercise, we eat right, because we saw in the pandemic that happened for the past 2 years or 3 years, and the health issues with black people. A lot of black people face tremendous health problems during the coronavirus pandemic. And so it is important for us to make sure that we take care of ourselves. You know, and reflecting back on history once again, because you know, unlocking our voices is about history. It's about black people, talking about black people. And we know that within the 60s, within the 1960s, Henry Kissinger, we're talking about Secretary of State Henry Kissinger in the United States, made a statement that the best way to control black people, you have to control the food that they eat. And so when you look in our neighborhood, in black communities, we see that the food in our neighborhood are somehow different from the food in the suburbs. It's somehow different than white Americans' food. And I've always considered that, you know, a couple of assholes riding, you know, white Americans again, behaving ridiculous. But we always, when it comes to our neighborhood, and you look at the food in our neighborhood, the food in our neighborhood somehow looks different. You know, and I always question why our food looks so different in our neighborhood as black people. But Henry Kissinger, go back to Henry Kissinger again, and he talks about one way to control black people is to control the food that they eat. And so when you look at international aid and the distribution of food, we have to always question whether those food are appropriate health for us black people, because we know our gene and our diet is different from Europeans. And as African people, we have always had, for the most part, some of the healthiest diet, you know. But when we come to the United States, well, not just to the United States, but elsewhere in the world, we see that the food system here is much more different. And for whatever reason, it has posed a tremendous health problem to us, people of African descent. And so when we look at food aid or food charity, so to speak, we have to be very careful, because we don't know if those food in which they're sending to our countries, to black countries, to the Caribbean, is it health conscious for us? And perhaps those food that we're eating is meant to break down our body, to help to break down our DNA, to help kill us slowly or quickly. And so we have to be very careful. And as I mentioned with Henry Kissinger, stating that, you know, one of the best way to control black people is to control the food in which they eat. And so it is important for us to make sure that we take care of ourselves. It is important for us to make sure that we have a proper diet. It is important for us to exercise, to walk, to run, to do some type of activity, because we know that the black culture is being assaulted by all angles. And so targeting our food and targeting our community is not surprising. And so for me, health is an important issue for me. And I try to go to the gym a lot. I try to exercise a lot. I try to eat a lot. But sometimes I'm not able to do all of these activities because I am doing a lot. I'm a teacher. I'm doing other things. I'm trying to create my YouTube channel. I'm also, working on my my podcast in Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And I'm also writing my own script. So I'm constantly doing a lot. But nonetheless, I try my best to make sure that I exercise as much as I can. And I encourage you black people to make sure that you exercise, make sure that you eat healthy. And so I want to also showcase my Unlocking Our Voice water bottle that will be on the scene quite soon. So I encourage you, once we are known more, I encourage you. These are some of the merchandise in which Unlocking Our Voices will be selling. And we're going to be selling on these merchandise because we need to grow. We need awareness, and in order to grow, we need the funding, right? Keep in mind, this is a program in which I started independently on my own, and I started it as a result of just being frustrated, right? Being frustrated in terms of how the black culture is treated, being frustrated as I travel to different parts of the country, meaning the United States, and as I travel to different parts of the world, and seeing the plight of black people. I've been teaching for, I want to say 18 years now. And as a result of teaching for 18 years, it is what has now informed me to create this program. And this program, even though it came into existence last November, I've been thinking about it for decades in terms of what can I do other than teaching in the classroom? How can I have a greater impact on the people that I love the most, the black culture, the African culture? What can I do to make my contribution worthy on this planet? And this is my contribution to you all. And I hope that we grow. I hope that I bring new content to you and create meaningful content as I continue to explore the different options and the different opportunity that I've been blessed with to give you, the viewers, the best that I can. I am doing this out of passion. I'm doing this out of love. I remember when I started, I was not looking in terms of how can I make money off this. I was looking, how can I enlighten my people, black people all over the globe, from Africa to Latin America, in the United States, and also in the Caribbean. So take the journey with me, and as you take the journey with me, we will learn together. We will make mistakes as we go along, but as we make those mistakes, we try to improve as best, or I try to improve as best as I can. So I'm gonna continue with my walk and talk to you guys again soon.